when WCW goes out of business and you're under an AOL Time Warner contract. So you don't come over as part of the invasion angle, which is probably a good thing because very few. I think probably the
Survived
only.
that.
I think
Yeah.
the only. Well, I think the only success story really out of that was Booker T.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lance Storm to a degree, but not many. Not many came out of that in a good way. Did you consider signing with WWE once your contract expired?
Well, actually, I always considered signing with WWE before that, even before when before they bought WCW, because I always heard that they were interested in me. But being, I don't know, being so young or being maybe a German, we are very loyal persons. We are very, and I was very, like I said before, I was very thankful to WCW. And I said, hey, man, why should I leave this company? I mean, I know everybody. I have my status in my locker room. There's no, I know all the guys, how they act and what they think. When you go to WWE, then you have to fight for your new spot in the locker room. You have to fight for a new spot on TV. There's a lot of backstabbing, all kind of shit. Plus, the offer from WWE wasn't that good.
Right.
So I said, no, I set out my contract. And then after that, they approached me twice and asked me if I wanted to join WWE. But at that time, it wasn't the right time for me. Like I said before, I was mentally, physically burned out. And if I can give 100% for the audience and 100% for the promotion and myself, it's better to say no, which I did.
So
Because,
what did that time period look like for you after WCW and before you opened up your wrestling school? What did you do in that period in between?
well, that was about a year and a half, which I had really to struggle. I mean, I was really, I mean, um, I wouldn't say it was a depression. It was just you were drained, from all the traveling. I mean, I was sometimes 350 days a year on the road, and plus the backstage politics at the end. It took away my passion. And at that time, I always wanted to go to WWE, but at that time, it was like the passion for the sport was like pressured underneath all the bullshit what I experienced. I didn't know what I should do with myself. I was like, everything's like, man, actually I love wrestling, but I don't want to deal with all the bullshit again and stuff like that. And so it was a really hard time. And I didn't work out at the time at the beginning. It just was like everything was shit. And then after a while, it came back because I relaxed. I was hanging out with my friends, doing sightseeing, being with my family, and that was very good for me. A lot of talks with my wife and stuff like that, and friends, and yeah. Then I said, well, the sport gave me so much. I want to give something back, and make sure the sport survives in Germany, and that's when I opened the wrestling school.
Yeah,
And
that's
then they approached me WWE in that times. And of course, if you say twice no, you have to approach them again if you want.
yeah, yeah.